Very wise, little ones. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Murgo's Beard. Playground have blessed our vision balls with yet another beautifully animated and visually stunning mockumentary interview-style trailer. It reveals many things, some tiny, some large, some multi-dimensional. A release date, thank goodness. The game's ESRB and PEGI ratings are solidified as mature and 18 respectively. Game versions, which we'll touch on later. There's also an article regarding casting, which makes my job much easier. There's a surprising amount of mind-bending madness that can be found in 3 small minutes. I'll try to keep this, as usual, as professionally fact-filled as possible. But, content warning, I may find it hard to rein it in this time around. Be prepared, children. This isn't your standard breakdown. There's going to be so much back and forth, a mild case of Whiplash is certainly on the menu. And so, it's time to begin.
Let's do it.
Following channel tradition, how about we start with our newly confirmed characters? Finally, in this trailer we follow our baddie of the game, until we see the bigger baddie, spoiler alert. Actually no, why are you even here if you haven't seen the trailer yet? Go away and watch that first. Oh, and I'm also assuming that you're all up to date with the channel's content, and so I shan't apologize for spoilers or missed references anymore.
Remorse? Remorse is for the guilty.
Spot on, Izzy. That's right, people. We can stop calling her Lena now. This is Isabel, the hero of Wraithmarsh, or as IGN call it, Wraithmarch. Thought that was rather humorous. Commiserations to all Team Murgo and hero players. It wasn't Lena Headey or Amelia Tyler after all. Reva, you've done it again. Congratulations, you sly git. Isabel is instead played by Hayley Atwell, who I assume the majority of folk my age recognize most clearly as Captain America's better half. We begin this trailer learning about when Isabel's awakening happened, or as she puts it,
The moment my powers came in.
a near-death experience that resulted in her sister's untimely demise, and her becoming a hero. Traumatic experiences leading to hero awakening seem to be a recurring theme here. We've already heard Mr. Littler mention it when talking about our character.
It's here that in a moment of extreme danger, your heroic powers first emerge.
And we'll see it again in just a second. In Isabel's case, she was being crushed to death, struggling to survive whilst holding on to her sister's hand until her grip slipped. Perhaps survivor's guilt caused her powers to awaken. As she's left with nothing and nowhere to go, Humphrey discovers her and takes her in. From there, it's unknown, but something clearly happens, or happened prior, leading to Isabel disbanding herself from the guild and deciding she alone is the hero Albion needs. If this is true, it puts Isabel in a similar box to Lucian from Fable 2, doing absolutely everything within their power to better Albion after a tragic loss of family, truly believing that they are doing what's necessary. Now, seeing as this is the Isabel trailer, we'll move on before I lose myself in wondrous speculation. You see, this is what I was talking about. I've already thrown out 2 scripts of ramblification. We only deal in truths here at Murgo's Beard, no time for derailing thought trains. She mocks heroes, as we see Whisper 2, officially named Arden the Cobbler. Pause and read if you'd like. Honestly, I'm not familiar enough with any of the remaining celebrities to have a say, so let's focus solely on the characters. Basically, Arden's a sourpuss who'd rather make shoes than do hero stuff. I swear we've never seen her looking anything but ticked off. She even dual-wields stress hammers in combat just to make sure we don't forget her preferred profession. At least we know the decorative patterns on our new boots are infused with freshly squashed bandit brains. Next up is Connor, our adoptive sibling, and Samira, our, adoptive mother, or grandmother as she prefers. Must be an age fantasy thing, I don't know. Connor is described as brave, popular, and capable. He always dreamed he'd be the hero. How he reacts to simply being normal in this world is the driving force behind his ascent to absolute financial dominance as Bowerstone's very own Don Corleone. There's another rabbit hole I'm going to go down with Connor, so let's just keep it moving for now. Samira found us both years apart from each other, abandoned in the woods. Interestingly, she's landlord of the Rose and Thorn. I wonder if we can inherit it from her, or if she'll make us buy it. That might change depending on our choices. Anyway, despite being kind and generous in nature, she commands respect and isn't afraid of taking a few fingers from those who can't pay up. Jenny and Jacob are revealed to be our rivaling Bloodstone clans that Justin mentions here.
You'll meet the leaders of two rival gangs, vying for power.
Jacob the cracker dealer, whose goal is to Barnumify Bloodstone to higher standing, just like Barnum can to Westcliff in Fable 2, and Jenny, his cracker-plundering pirate sister. Clearly, she didn't inherit the baking or business prowess of her brother. Jenny is the Arthur choice here, wanting to keep Bloodstone just like her, brutal, crude, and shameless. So far, I'm on her side, but I am intrigued as to just how different Bloodstone will be following Jacob's reinvention program. Starting to smell multiple playthroughs already. And finally, our previously deduced sheriff of Silverbrook, Nigel.
More important things to worry about than vegetables.
This line is delivered inside the Sandswine, whilst we talk to this townsman of what looks like a higher standing, and it knits our Silverbrook sheriff and Balverine theories together rather nicely. Fantastic. As far as new regions go, Wraithmarsh has officially been named, and due to Isabel's connection to it, let's go ahead and assume these areas previously seen at the Developer Direct are part of Wraithmarsh. Being near Bloodstone and the coast also makes sense geographically as far as previous titles are concerned. Speaking of Bloodstone, we get a new painfully short walkthrough there, where to our right we see a sneaky boy with a suspicious stance, a fire breather scamming a child, and to our left, a tough lad whose hair is so lush, the rain and grime simply bounces off it, eliminating the need for a hat altogether. He must be using the same treatment as our cover character here. And oh look everyone, a masculine walk cycle. Case closed. The large structure in the background of Bloodstone will henceforth be referred to as Bloodstone Mansion, and I think this scene here takes place at the mansion, given our higher altitude than the surrounding roof spires, and the fact that Jenny is an heir to Bloodstone. Other locations of interest include this scene here, which I'll refer to as the Temple of Shadows, this red lightning-backed ominous castle which potentially houses the Sword of Eons, and this glorious underground area, all of which are clearly rather important to the main questline. Right, from now on, let's take this trailer scene by scene, a slight twist on tradition, eh? And sod it. Get your neck braces ready, people. You're in for a bumpy ride of speculation. We start in Wraithmarsh, with Isabel at what I'm assuming is her home, and we see this large statue, which is getting quite the spotlight. I wonder if, seeing as this very large, out-of-place statue is on the coast of Wraithmarsh, it's actually a giant that caused the flooding that awakened Isabel, and her powers turned it to stone, forever marking the coastline and reminding her of the events that occurred on that day. Links nicely to the mysterious stranger behind the stoning of Briar Hill, does it not? And we see this statue once again in the background during our fight with Isabel towards the end. We see Isabel's name card next, and it's very interesting indeed. Behind the text is what looks like an investigation board. A guild seal engraved staff is here, the crest of which can be seen later at the Temple of Shadows is here too. And would you look at that, a hooded man with the text, Jack? ? I wonder who that could be referring to. Jack of Blades, perhaps? No, surely not. That would be mad. Isabel clearly wanted to be a doctor before her powers came in, which explains her indecipherable handwriting. Come on, Izzy, I'm trying to find information here. What in the world does that even say? This points to an obsession with a certain twisted, multi-dimensional god, and the cult that clearly worships said being. Let's amuse the possibility that Jack of Blades is the focus here. Is she too a believer and follower of the hero of heroes? Or is the same dark magic she wields connected to the Void and actually responsible for all the destruction we see in these trailers, including what happened to Isabel and her sister? Perhaps, as this board suggests, she's actually tracking the cult and trying to stop the return of Jack of Blades, putting an end to all the Void lightning and Albion-crushing catastrophes. That's potentially why she hates all these other heroes who focus on smaller, insignificant goals. Moving on, here's Arden bullying Dave, followed by a very interesting scene here with Connor. Why is this interesting, you ask? Well, here we are, the three musketeers, together as it always has been, sharing a pint with the thud of wooden tankards. Except, this isn't how it's always been. We're adults here, which means this is post-stoning of Briar Hill. Now, skipping ahead in the trailer a tad to the next scene we get together with Connor is no doubt our character's awakening scene. Here, however, we're children, and we're playing as male option 1. There's no mistaking that hairstyle.
It's here that in a moment of extreme danger, your heroic powers first emerge.
Nothing more pressuring than a forest troll seconds away from making a jar of pure 100% brother jelly. This isn't the only time we're seen together as children either. During the burning of Bowerstone, the same two children are seen here avoiding this flaming cart. The child resembling Connor bravely pulls the child resembling male option 1 to safety, solidifying his brave and capable nature. Immediately after, we see this view very clearly from the perspective of our child character, again who can mistake the hairstyle, as Fairfax Castle's study tower is shot down by void lightning. I'm very confused as to the chronological order of events taking place here. Is Isabel the one controlling the void lightning? I've been assuming she's the one behind the stoning of Briar Hill too, yet maybe, just maybe, all this calamity is due to the Cult of Shadows movements, and this destruction of Bowerstone, whilst we're still children, happens at the same time as the stoning of Briar Hill. Perhaps, shortly after awakening our powers, we and Connor try to visit the Heroes Guild in Bowerstone to learn more, when during our trip these terrible events take place, and that's how our character and Connor age the same whilst everyone else is stoned. It would also allow for a time skip to adulthood, and during said skip, enough time for Bowerstone to rebuild the damages without unnecessary explanation. Or, Isabel simply tries and fails the first time, goes into hiding for a while whilst we train, and she intends to try again, this time together with Jack of Blades.
She's back.
Oh, sorry about that, forgive me. I have a serious case of the Ramble-Titus virus, diagnosed by Dr. Isabel herself. Here we see our cover character with a new hairstyle, Humphrey, Jenny, and Jacob. I'm unsure, but it looks as if our cover characters put on a little weight here in comparison to the other views. Could this point to a weight system linked to food like previous games, or simply a body type selector during character creation? In this shot, male option 1 and Arden are investigating this voidy artifact site. Looks like we're about to touch it, get blasted back, and see some kind of premonition. The next scene has us approaching another white Balverine. I'm really hoping this isn't the same one we deal with in the Silverbrook quest with Sheriff Nigel. Taylor did say Balverines with an S during the developer direct, so let's go ahead and assume so. We're wearing the splendid armor cosmetic set here, which can be seen on the cover art of the premium edition of the game, and is exclusive, I assume, to that version. More on that later. We are then seen fighting some wraiths with hollow men in the background. I love the outfit cosmetics in this scene, and do notice our sword is much more decorative here. A master-crafted version, perhaps. We then see for the 4th time now our character beating hobs with a large hammer. This time, however, the hobs are clothed, and quite a bit larger in stature. Our timid wood collector hob is here too. Also, as we saw a second ago, our weapons here, both hammer and AC-25 fully automatic crossbow, are the much more decorative master variants too. Not only that, but the hammer is emitting fire. Augmentation confirmation, eh? We then see our first proper look at the giant toad enemy, and I'm assuming this is the featherweight spell, previously used on the hobs here. Yet, this time, as the toad is an absolute unit, we can't keep it up in the air, and instead slam it back down with extreme force. Here we use a disarming strike skill against this bandit, whilst Arden uses her flame-augmented cobbler hammer on this fellow's poor face. A new shield-bearing bandit variant can be seen here, as well as our good old 12-foot friend once again up on the hill. As we walk through Bloodstone, we're bad-mouthed by this bloke who's too cool for rain.
Look what the guild shut out.
Here's our awakening moment, which I covered earlier. I pointed to the hair as the identity-revealing factor, but let's not forget that the clothes are also 1-for-1. The troll's eyes go out when hit with Inferno here, so maybe the spell really is story-crushingly broken. Important to note, no visible life grubs this time, so either this is an unnecessary finishing move, or this one's doing the trollish eyelidless equivalent of wincing in pain. Here's male option 1 looking chuffed with himself, probably bragging to Arden about that time he one-shot a troll. Humphrey entertaining some soon-to-be hobs. Yes, a demon door. Does it need explanation really? These are riddle-locked, living, stone-faced dimensional warpways that usually have something of worth locked behind them. Their entry requirements range from simple requests to ludicrous demands. This one seems to desire seeing a hero of some renown looking foolish.
You're back, and dressed like a twat.
Points of interest here, the demon door is shaven, our hair is long and blonde, and, once again, for any still hating, a male walk cycle. Wow. Also,
I have returned. After an eternity away from you all,
Peter Molyneux
is back.
I have to credit Reddit for that one. Next up is the sheriff scene, where Nigel states,
More important things to worry about than vegetables.
Balverines, I wager. As I mentioned before, this man looks quite wealthy for a Silver Brookian, could be somewhat of a mayor figure. He's clearly making a deal with us to go sort out Dave. Our cover character is wearing the chicken suit, which is a pre-order bonus, and I like how this outfit is serious enough to crack a deal, whilst this outfit is silly enough to open a demon door. Backwards, isn't it? Anyhow, all these mundane and rather silly events flash by as Isabel expresses her disdain towards the way so-called heroes use their time and power, before she stands proud and states,
A hero knows how to live with their choices.
because all of hers are made out of necessity. And wow, isn't Isabel's spear gorgeous? I love how this entwined detailing forms into a guild seal. It makes me hopeful that we too can wield spears. This next scene takes place in the moments following us sending Jacob assumingly into the void. Perhaps this is post-premonition, and we're attempting to figure out cross-dimensional travel rituals so we can get to Jack, instead of Jack getting to us. Now, clearly it doesn't go exactly to plan, given Jenny's reaction.
Oi! What the fuck was that?
Well, I was just
Sent my brother into the infinite fucking abyss without even asking permission!
The humour here fits and her delivery sounds genuine, which means this Bloodstone family feud is not a bloody, hate-filled conflict. As if it was, surely Jenny would instead be ecstatic at the dimensional banishment of her treacherous brother.
Remorse? Remorse is for the guilty.
As we're tactically shown Don Corleone and other nobles, followed by our cover character and grandma, all looking rather serious-faced. Humphrey then chunders his guts up, as all good role models should.
Look, I will tell you what I told them.
As we're shown our cover character wearing very cultish robes. The background here contains a rock supporting 3 masks that are very similar to style to those of the court. The court being the demonic trio of the Knight, Jack, and Queen of Blades. This scene features the rapier and dagger combo weapons that we've now seen together more than enough times to assume they cannot be individually wielded. Arden again battering bandits, and Humphrey swiping cultists. And here's what looks like a void-corrupted rock troll. Isabel says Albion is broken as we see a withered dirt path. Here we can see what looks like ash particles in addition to 2 scurrying rats. Our next scene is the destruction of Bowerstone, which, contrarily to the Photoshop tab titled Epilogue, seems to occur during our childhood, making it a prologue, right?
Albion doesn't need heroes.
As we're shown multiple Isabel confrontations containing numerous different characters. Isabel versus the adoptive brothers, Isabel versus Arden, Isabel versus Humphrey and male option 1, and quite frankly, in every one, she looks to be the dominant party. Here she uses a red void-like blast to knock Humphrey to the ground. Is she really behind the destructive red lightning, or has she decided in order to stop the void, she must wield it?
It needs a hero.
you're a monster.
We claim, shortly followed by a spear catch countermove, just like the bandit crossbow bolt from before, confirming this is indeed a combat skill. Here's that evil castle again, and the timing of clips suggest inside or underneath is where Isabel will find the Sword of Eons. This is Jack of Blades' sword from the original Fable, and the most powerful sword in all of Albion. The first Archon, original hero of all disciplines and ancestor of every major game's protagonist so far, William Black, stole this sword from Jack of Blades and proceeded to destroy the court one member at a time. Original Fable lore states only a descendant of Archon can wield this sword, and it requires another bloodline sacrifice to be activated. I'm extremely interested to find out what convincing loopholes and links Playground have come up with to integrate the sword's lore into this game. Hopefully it's not a simple retcon jobbo. No, new game, new lore. This fight between Humphrey and Isabel in the underground area has major, watch from afar, the death of our beloved mentor vibes. Gandalf versus the Balrog, Qui-Gon versus Darth Maul. You feeling that too? It seems to end at least partially with Isabel falling into the darkness before some special warp magic appears very briefly. Did she cast it herself? Could it be a certain voidal being's intervention? Or, do notice Isabel's ring is a guild seal. Guild seals are magical artifacts that all heroes gain upon graduation. They have various magical abilities, including teleportation. Perhaps she used it here. This is the second guild seal we see on Isabel's person, the first being engraved into her spear. Is this simply because the seal is too valuable an artifact to abandon, or does this show where her deep allegiance still lies?
And that hero is me.
Perfectuous cut to title. My jaw needed a few screws after this. I lost myself for a moment and could say no more than no fucking way. Excitement for this game truly knows no bounds. Our release date is solidified. Let's hope it stays solid. Unlike Grandma here, there's 3 game versions: Standard, the premium version here with various add-ons, 2 cosmetics, a digital art book and soundtrack, 9 gifts, and an extra post-launch expansion where we can create our own cult. How lovely. The pre-order bonus includes the chicken suit and 3 more gifts, bringing your total if you pre-order the premium edition up to 12. The clear wording of cosmetic outfit here makes me hopeful we can simply play the fashion game without worrying about RPG armor stats. And then we see this absolute monster of a collector's edition. I exit the showcase and try to buy this immediately, only to have a heart attack after seeing the price, and finding out it's simply unavailable in my neck of the woods. Whatever happened to the days when a collector's edition was 60 quid? Playground are showing us in-depth gameplay soon. Hopefully this video drops first, but if it didn't make it in time, know in your hearts that I am working on something. Fable's website states they'll be showing us more in the days and weeks to come, so it looks like we might have our plates full for a while. Anyhow, my ultimate plan is an Everything We Know video once all mockumentary-style trailers are revealed and we're a little closer to release. And that marks the end of the Isabel trailer breakdown. As always, humongous gratitude to all heroes watching. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. If you're new here and enjoyed this one, be sure to check out my other breakdowns. Unfortunately, whilst some predictions have been debunked, they are rather in-depth, and there's a lot of details you potentially won't find elsewhere. Legendary coffee heroes, your support has made this sleepless grind a joy. I truly appreciate every single one of you. Right then, time to sell my kidneys to the devil in an attempt to spawn myself a collector's edition of Fable. Toodle-doo, chaps. That's enough from me. I'll see you in the next one.